So now I'm going to cut the pattern for this beautiful flared sleeve. Can you see here? So I'm going to use my sleeve block and I'm going to use the standard sleeve block and I'm going to slash and actually create the flare by slash and spread. So I'm going to leave that over there. So I've drawn a horizontal line and a vertical line here. And I'm going to put my sleeve here. Can you see I'm aligning it up with the horizontal line and the vertical line, which is the sigh line. So I'm going to just put on my little weights. And this is going to be a little short sleeve. So you as the designer can work out what length you want the sleeve to be. Please don't forget to mark the notches, they're vital whenever it comes to the sewing process. So I'm not quite sure what length I want my sleeve to be. So what I'm doing here, I'm just measuring either side of the underarm seams here. So I'm going to make it 14 centimetres. Just measuring across like that. And now I'm going to cut that out. Now I've cut around my sleeve. For goodness sake, don't forget to insert your notches. And you will remember that the 2 notches go to the back of the sleeve and the 1 notch goes to the front. Now, what we want to do is have all the flare located in the centre of the sleeve. We don't want flare underneath the armpits here. This will be underneath the armpits of a person's body. So we don't want lots of flare in here. So what I'm doing here is I am going to drop a line from approximately the notch area here. Okay. And another line from the notch on the front. And I'm going to split these sections in the middle also and flare them out. So I'm dropping another line there and I'm just going to split this as well. So what I'm doing, I'm drawing my line. Remember, I'm using marker so that you can see it. I want to make sure that you're using pencil. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut up all of those lines and flare my pattern out. So here I go. So now I'm going to flare the pattern out beautifully, nice and evenly. Okay, so now I've got my pieces and I'm going to flare them out. You stick them down onto another piece of paper, but I'm going to start off by drawing a vertical line. So taking my pieces, now you can flare this out as much as you want. So I'm flaring mine out by 10, each one of these, I'm moving them apart by 10 centimetres approximately. So I'm just flaring them out. And the ones here near the, that's a bit of a mess. So I'm flaring that out approximately by 10 centimetres. Oh goodness gracious, that is 10 centimetres. So that's amazing. I'm going to flare this one out by approximately 10 centimetres. Okay. And this one here out by 10 centimetres. Almost there. And these ones underneath the arms, underneath the armpits as such, I'm just going to flare out by 5 because you don't want as much volume underneath your armpits. Okay, so I have already done this. Can you see? I'm just going to take it off, and I've already done that. And I've already stuck it down onto the paper. So there you can see my pattern. Once again, the 2 notches in the back and the 1 notch in the front. So that's my pattern complete now. I just need to add on seams. And once again, I've already done that. So I've drawn around it again. I've marked a centimetre seam across the top of the sleeve head and the underarm. And here at the bottom, because this is such a curved curve, we've added I'm only adding on a 5mm hem. So that is my flared sleeve. Got my grain line in, got my notches here at the back to match up with the notch to match up with the shoulder seam, and a notch to match up with the notch on the front. And I have given the pattern a title, and that's flared sleeve. And we're going to size 12, and we cut 1 pair. And here is the flared sleeve that you've just created the pattern from. I've cut it in quite a lightweight voile fabric, and I put it onto this little garment we made with the yoke and the pin tucks last week. Can you see in the nice lightweight fabric, it hangs beautifully. Now, remember we put on a 5mm seam onto this because it's quite curved. And that is the flared sleeve pattern that you are going to be making, and